Hey my lovelies, welcome back to another video. Today is going to be a little something different. I've actually recently had laser eye surgery and I've had loads of questions about it over on my Instagram because that's kind of like where I've mentioned that I've had it done before. So I thought that I'd do a video kind of just talking about my experience, how I found it, what it was like, because I know a lot of people would like to have it done but they're just a little bit too scared, a little bit too skeptical, they have no idea kind of what the procedure is like or anything like that. So I thought I'd give you sort of a first person perspective of how it all went. Now I just want to say this is just my personal experience, other people may have had a completely different experience and I'm also not professional, so if you are looking into getting it done, I recommend doing loads of research. I recommend talking to the specialist because yeah, I'm not going to be getting all the information correct. I'm just going to be basically talking about what people have told me and how I found it. If you're interested about finding a little bit more about laser eye surgery, keep watching. So this video is sort of the same as some of my other previous videos. I asked you guys to ask me questions over on Instagram, just stuff that you kind of want to know, and I'm just going through the questions now. I'm just going to pick the most popular questions and just talk through them. So I'm going to start with, what made you decide to have the procedure and how bad is your eyesight? How bad was your eyesight? So I used to actually have really good eyesight. Over the course of a good sort of 4 to 5 years, my eyes have been deteriorating really badly, but it's been quite slow. So I have noticed it, but because it's been such a slow process, it wasn't a 0 from 100 sort of thing. So I think that's why it's taken me so long to actually get laser eye surgery. So fast forward about 4 to 5 years until just before my procedure, it was really bad. I'm short-sighted, so I can't see from a distance. Yeah, it just got to the point where I'd be walking down the street, I couldn't see people's faces, I couldn't read signs. I'd be in a restaurant and I couldn't even find the toilet sign or anything like that. It was just really bad. I'd be out with friends or family or whatever and they would be oh, look at this over here, look at that over there, and I'd be I literally can't see a thing. Textures on buildings, or I couldn't really see. It was just all a massive blur. I said, I knew there was a big difference, but because it didn't just go from one to the other, I didn't really pay too much attention. It wasn't until I started trying on my dad's and my brother's glasses actually at a restaurant sometime last year, I was whoa, this is what I'm meant to be seeing. It was just this huge mind-blowing moment for me, and I was no, absolutely not. I've got to get something sorted. I've actually for the past number of years thought, no, I want to get laser eye surgery, because a lot of people say, oh, why don't you wear glasses, why don't you wear contact lenses? That for me just was never an option. I'm really bad at putting contact lenses in my eyes. Nah, it's not going to happen. And I never really wanted to get glasses because as a performer and a model, I can't be on set wearing glasses because it might not be the costume. If I'm at rehearsals, the glasses are just going to get in the way. I think I've worn glasses, or I tried on someone else's glasses once at rehearsal and I almost knocked them off. So glasses and contact lenses were never going to be an option, and I always thought, oh, I really want laser eye surgery, but I just never had the kind of push to actually book it in and do it until that moment for me. But yeah, my eyes were absolutely awful before. So this is actually a really interesting question. I've got so many messages saying, are you excited to have it done? How do you feel about the procedure? All this sort of stuff. Are you nervous? That's probably one of the most popular questions. So I was extremely nervous for the procedure beforehand, only because I did all my research on the surgery, what's to be expected, how the procedure actually works, and because I'm just so awful with things close to my eyes, I was really nervous because you don't actually get put to sleep for it. They numb your eyes with numbing drops, but they have to hold your eyelid open and all this sort of stuff, and I was just nah, I do not want to have it done. I want to have it done, but I don't want to go through it to get it done. So I was really nervous, but I kind of just didn't think about it that much. So even on the day of the procedure, I was oh yeah, I'm not really gonna have it done, I was kind of in denial, just so I wasn't too nervous or anxious. But as well as being nervous, I was also super excited. Because the procedure is really short as well, I think the procedure is about 10 minutes, but I'll talk about that a little bit more soon. I was super excited to just go there, and then when I leave, that'll be it. And that will be it for a long time, and I'll be able to see, because you see really well straight after the procedure almost. So it's just yeah, I was just super excited. It was really weird. I was like excited and nervous in one. I think that's like to be expected though, so yeah. Also, what was really nice was everyone who I had my consultations with and everyone at like the surgery was really lovely. Like everyone just put me at ease and was like, oh, don't worry about it, like, you know, it's fine. And yeah, if I had any problems, like everyone was really welcoming and really nice. So yeah, I think that's why I'm really happy with the company that I went with as well. Okay, next question is, what you haven't done? Very great question. There are different types of lasers that you can get. I'll pop them up on the screen. I went for LASIK eye surgery. But then I also went for LASIK eye design. I think there's two different brackets, I believe, and then underneath those brackets you can get different things, mine was the most expensive option. So when you go for your consultation, check your eyes out, they do like a few tests and stuff like that, and then they tell you which one that you can sort of like qualify for. For the option I went for, I know not everyone can qualify for it. I think it's something to do with your eyes. I don't know whether it's like the sensitivity of your eyes or something like that. I'm not too sure, you'd have to look it up. I think it's the same outcome, they just do it differently because of the type of eyes that you have, I'm pretty sure. So I went for LASIK, and then they offered me LASIK eye design, which I think, and I'm not entirely correct because I don't think we went into too much detail about this, but I think it kind of just gives you better vision, but again, I could be completely wrong with that. So the LASIK eye design surgery and the company that I went with pretty much guarantees you 20/20 vision or better, or your money back. So obviously they're not going to offer you that deal unless they can deliver on their promise, right? So I went back for a checkup after my surgery and I have better vision than 20/20. So it's absolutely amazing, really happy with the results. I just recommend reading up like what each one does, and then when you go for your consultation they'll obviously tell you which one that they think is best suited for you. Okay, so we've got loads of questions asking how long is the procedure, are you put to sleep, what's the process from start to finish, loads of questions about the procedure itself. So as I mentioned a little bit earlier, no, you're not put to sleep. You get given numbing, or they put numbing drops into your eyes so you don't feel anything. You do feel, or so you don't feel any pain, you do sort of feel like pressure sort of thing. It does feel like a little bit uncomfortable, but it's not painful in the slightest. So the procedure is really short. It's 10 minutes in total when you're actually in the surgery room, but the actual laser itself on the eyes is about 10 to 15 seconds, I think it was. But like for me, there was like 3 different stages to the procedure. So I don't know exactly what they did, but there are like loads of videos on this. So if you're really interested, like I would recommend checking out like the professional videos, because I'm not going to explain this well at all. But yeah, for me there was like 3 different stages to the procedure. The first stage was by far the worst, and I actually really hated this part of the procedure. I can only describe it as they sort of had to like cup my eyeball, I think it was. That's what it felt like anyway. I mean, I could be completely wrong. They might have not done that at all, but that's what it felt like to me. They had to sort of like put something around my eyeball, but I had to keep my eye still at the same time. I'm not too sure whether they numbed my eye at this point. I feel like they didn't, but I could be wrong. But it just didn't feel very nice at all, and I actually found it really difficult. Like they had to attempt to do it a few times, and I'm pretty sure the surgeon was getting a little bit annoyed with me. But yeah, for me that felt absolutely nasty. I hated it so much. But again, like it was over really quickly. Like once the thing was actually on my eyeball, they counted down from I think 15 or 13 seconds, and then it was over, and they did the other eye. So they did something to my eye, I don't know what it was. And then after that we moved on to another section. So after that there was like 2 more different stages to the procedure. Part of it involves obviously where they cut the flap of your eye, I think it is, the cornea of your eye. They pull it apart, they pull it away from your eye, and then they laser it in the eye, and they put it back. All that was done with the numbing drops, so I didn't feel a thing. They sort of like clamp, I don't know if that's the right word, but they sort of like clamp or hold your eyelids open, but you don't feel the need to blink because the numbing drops take away the kind of like feeling or the need to blink. So that's all fine. Didn't feel any pain, like I said, I just felt like a little bit of pressure, but it wasn't painful in the slightest. So after the next 2 sort of like sections of the procedure, they were again done very quickly. The actual sort of like laser on the eye itself was about 10 to 15 seconds each per eye. But yeah, after the first stage of that procedure, like the rest was really fine. Like I didn't have a problem with any of it. And then pretty much Bob's your uncle, and that was it really. I could open my eyes straight after the procedure. So pretty much after the 10 minutes in the room, they were like, okay, you're done, open your eyes. And I just walked into another room where they sort of like did a 1-2, checked my eyes over just to make sure it was all okay, and that was it. I went into another room with someone who then just basically explained the do's and don'ts. So considering you've just had like something crazy done to your eyes, it's actually really, really tame afterwards. You have your eye drops, sunglasses, goggles, and that's pretty much it. And then you get like a piece of paper that tells you like what not to do for up to a period of time. So don't wear makeup for a week. And like I said, I don't want to go too much into detail with the procedure because I'm going to go on based on what I felt, and what I felt might be completely different to actually what they're doing. I don't want to give you like false information. So I really recommend, yeah, just sort of like Googling or like YouTubing. So I've got a lot of questions based on the recovery process. I said that the numbing drops would wear off about half an hour after the procedure, but for me it was really, really quick. For me it was more like, I want to say like 15 minutes. And I actually had really bad luck. So on the way, quick tangent, quick side story, on the way to my surgery, my car actually broke down, or my dad's car actually broke down. So then I had to get a taxi from somewhere on the motorway to my appointment. So that obviously meant that my dad couldn't come pick me up. So I actually had to call my boyfriend and be like, do you mind coming to pick me up after my surgery? They told me that I'd be finished at 3:30. Turns out I actually finished at 2. They tell you like a little bit later just in case like anything goes wrong or they need more time, think people are running late, that kind of thing. So I finished at 2, but it took like about 15 minutes to drive to the appointment. So I rang my boyfriend up afterwards being like, I've just finished, can you come pick me up? So we left immediately, but I had to wait about 50 minutes. And they say after the procedure, like go straight home and go to sleep because you're going to be in a lot of pain. So yeah, you need to sleep it off. Like if you need to, take some paracetamol or whatever and then go to sleep. But I obviously had to wait 50 minutes for my boyfriend to come pick me up, 50 minutes to go back home, and then I had to take eye drops and stuff when I got back home. So it was all just like a crazy experience for me, and I'm sure for you it would be like completely different because what are the odds, right? Anyway, back to the question. So about after 15 minutes I was waiting in the waiting room for my boyfriend to come pick me up, and at this point like the numbing drops were wearing off, and they said to me in the like aftercare section after the surgery, they said to me, they're like, okay, so it should probably feel like you've got onions in your eyes and someone's like stabbing you. I was like, cool, great. They obviously were like having like a little joke about it. And that's exactly what it felt like. So my eyes just would not stop watering. My eyes were streaming. It was literally like someone had put got 2 onions and just shoved them into my eyes. And then there was a fair bit of pain, to be fair, and I literally just took 2 paracetamol. So it's not like you have to take like really strong painkillers, but yeah, there was still like a lot of pain, but it's not like, I don't know, it's bearable. Like it hurts, but it's bearable. Like it's nothing to be put off by at all in the slightest. So the watering of the eyes and like the most of the pain happens within the first, I think they said 6 or 7 hours. So after I got home and I did my eye drops, it took me a little bit of time to go to sleep, but I did manage to go to sleep for I think maybe like an hour and a half to 2 hours. Then I woke up because I just wasn't tired, so it was really, really hard to go to sleep in the middle of the day for me. Usually like my naps, but at that time like it was just difficult. For me there was like a constant pain from right after my surgery till even now, but now it's just like, you know when your eyelids are kind of like heavy and they're a bit sore, and like it kind of feels like I've got a little bit of a headache behind the backs of my eyes. That's what it feels like. But again, like it doesn't hurt enough to even take any painkillers. It's just something there, like, do you know what I mean? Like it's not that, like, to say it's pain is kind of like a bit of an overstatement. Like I can just feel like an achy feeling in the backs of my eyes, and sometimes when I blink, like it just aches a bit. But like I said, after the initial 6 to 7 hours, the pain starts to go down, and as for the first, I would say 3 to 5 days, you just want to take it easy. Like you just want to take it easy. The pain is still there, but it's kind of like gradually going as well. Like I had a lot of bloodshot eye and a lot of like red spots all over my eyes, which I don't know whether everyone gets, but I got a lot of it. And even on this side of my eye, like I've still got a little bit of a bloodshot eye. So, and it's been almost 2 weeks now. So for me, that was definitely like the biggest part after the procedure was the crying of the eyes, the pain, like the initial pain at the beginning, and the bloodshot eyes. So like the main three things. I said you get a piece of paper that just says, you know, you can't do this for up to this amount of time, but pretty much the recovery period isn't too bad at all. Like most of it is just like up to a week, which is crazy in my opinion. I think that's absolutely mad. I had to take 3 different types of eye drops, and they explain to you how many times you take them for like up to a week. They give you goggles that you have to wear every night when you go to sleep for up to a week, just so you don't like knock your eyes. And when you go outside, you have to wear sunglasses for up to a week as well. So considering you've just had like something crazy done to your eyes, it's actually really, really tame afterwards. You have your eye drops, sunglasses, goggles, and that's pretty much it. And the next question, which was quite popular, was how long does the laser eye surgery last for? So I've been told that it lasts for somewhere between 10 to 15 years. I would have thought this is like subjective to the person and the person's eyes. And then I think once you hit a certain age anyway, you're most likely going to need glasses for like reading and stuff like that, because that's quite a natural thing that happens when you get older. 10 to 15 years, for me, that is mad. And if you think about how much people spend on like contact lenses, and some people actually spend a fortune on their prescription for glasses as well, overall it's actually way better money wise for you. It's way better for the environment, because contact lenses are really, really bad for the environment, and like the packaging that they come in. So overall, like, I think laser eye surgery for anyone is definitely one of the best options. Another great question is, can you talk a little bit more the process before the procedure? So yeah, so the first thing that I did was, after I realized, okay, I definitely want to get this done, I did a load of research from home, and I just sort of like googled all the natural questions that you're asking me and all the natural questions that you have yourself. I literally googled it all and got like all the information myself. I then went on to research different companies across the UK and like local to me, because I didn't want to go like really, really far, but I thought like if I'm going to be spending a lot of money, and if it's going to be investment on myself, like I want to go to the best place. So yeah, I did loads of research, and I narrowed it down to 2 places that I really, really liked the sound of. Initially I was going to go for a consultation at both places, but the more research I was looking into it, the more I really, really liked the sound of the place that I went, which is called Optical Express, one of the top places across the UK. So I definitely wanted to go. Like, I think they are a bit more expensive, but like to me that didn't really matter, because as long as I'm going somewhere that I trust, that have good customer service, and that are going to deliver, like, I don't mind about spending the money. After I picked what company I wanted to go for, I then booked my consultation, and I actually booked it in for I think like that week or the following week. Like, it was all like a really, really quick process. I had no intention of going to the consultation then booking in the appointment, but after I went to the consultation, they were so friendly, so lovely. Like I said, the customer service was top notch there. They did tests on my eyes, they went through like all my questions that I had, they told me what they think was best for me, all this sort of stuff. Like, and I just got to the point where I was like, I'm here now, let's book in the appointment. So I just said to them, I was like, okay, let's do it. I just went through like a few dates, because you have to go for another consultation, I believe, before the procedure, and then you got your procedure day, and then the following morning you have to come back for a checkup. So there's a few different appointments that you have to have. And after your next day checkup, you then have to book in for another appointment in a month's time, which I haven't had yet because it's only been 2 weeks, but I'm pretty sure after the month checkup, you then go back, I think, after 3 months, I think. So yeah, there's not too much to it. You just have a consultation, you have an appointment, you got your surgery day, a checkup, and then you just have a couple more checkups, I think up to a year. On the day of the procedure, when you arrive, I just filled in like a few forms, I sat in the waiting room, then I went to have some tests done, I came back, I might have had like a few more tests done, and then I came back into the waiting room, and they took me into another room where I just waited by myself, and then I went straight into the procedure, and then obviously from there. So last question is, again, another really, really popular question. Would you recommend it to other people? I am extremely happy with the results. If anything, yeah, I wish I had it done sooner, because I mean, the results speak for themselves. Like, I mean, the only person that's going to know about the results is me personally, but I cannot recommend it enough. Like I said, I only had the one thing that I didn't like about the whole entire process, and that was the first thing that happened to me during the surgery. But like I said, that would never be a reason for me not to have it done, because thinking back at it now, it literally took, I don't know, a minute or so. I mean, a minute compared to 10 to 15 years of my life, I mean, I've spoken to a lot of people now that I've had the laser eye surgery done, because before I had the procedure I wanted to get like a few other people's opinions, and they all say the same. They all say, I wish I had it done sooner. It's like one of the best things I've ever done. It is an investment in yourself. It's money worth spending. Trust me guys, if you're considering getting it done, get it done. So that's the end of the video guys. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope this actually helped you guys. I do waffle a little bit. I do go off on little tangents, but I hope I answered the questions. I picked the most popular questions. I probably did leave like a few things out, but definitely if you're gonna get it done, Google it, research it. It'll be the best thing that you ever do. As always, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and sub if you haven't already. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Stay safe. Mwah. Take care.